biggest difference between one less game and going on the road?
Yeah, it's a huge game for us, obviously, for all the reasons you just said. You know, our intent right now is just to get better, have a great practice, get ready to roll.
Kyle mentioned you're dealing with some back stiffness. Is that anything serious?
What?
Kyle mentioned that you're dealing with some back stiffness. Is that anything serious?
No, not serious.
So what's the challenge of you guys having to play back-to-back short weeks in such a big, important game?
It's what it is. You know, we don't make the schedule. We'll show up ready to go.
And how much do you look at the first game? It was so long ago, but how much do you look at that in preparing for this game?
Yeah, definitely something we'll look at. You know, we'll look at every game, but a lot happened since September. So there's stuff that you can look at and from every game, and do everything you can to prepare.
What is it about their defense that makes them so good?
I think they play really well collectively. They obviously have the individual talent at every level, but they play really good team defense, fly to the ball, and make it tough to gain every yard. I think it's you got to earn every yard.
Christian, can you kind of speak to the growth of Brock Purdy throughout the last few seasons? You see him now, he looks extremely confident. Not that he ever wasn't, but it just shows a lot more on the field now, no matter what's happening. Why is it, and what have you seen?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's obviously grown a lot, but I got to say, man, I think when he showed up the first game he played, he looked pretty incredible in that game too. And I think that that's somebody who he's never gotten enough credit. But when I look at his resume and how well he's done throughout his entire career, he's a special football player. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and somebody who can make play on any given play, and somebody that we love, man, in our huddle. But he's grown in the sense that now he's might be a little more comfortable dancing and all that stuff. But no, I mean, he's always played with that swagger and that energy that we feed off of.
After that Juszczyk touchdown, a lot of Mahomes comparisons when it comes to Brock Purdy. Is that something that's just new to the public, and you guys have seen that type of play from him, throughout, or was that something new to you all too?
I've been playing with him for a long time. It's nothing new to me. Yeah, I see it every day.
Yeah.
You've seen him play a lot of really good football. Is this the best you've seen him though right now?
I mean, tough to tell. I don't. I don't like watch the tape wondering which game Brock's played the best. So it's hard for me to say. But I can go through tape from when he first was the starter against Miami when Jimmy went down, and he's playing against a really good defense who brings a lot of zero blitz, and he's dicing them up. He's played good football his entire career. He's playing really well right now and at an extremely high level. But that's something that, again, we see every day.
I know you weren't here in 2019. You're playing somewhere else. Did you see the Seahawks-Niners game at the end of the year that year? Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, definitely remember. Remember Dre Greenlaw. Yeah.
Christian, Austen Pleasants was thrown into a tough situation after Trent went out in the first play. What did you make of the way he performed in that?
Man, that's incredible. I think, I asked him today when the last time he played a whole game, and he said college. So for somebody who hasn't played in a full game to come out in week, whatever it is, 20, and do as well as he did is extremely impressive. And, I have so much respect for him doing that, and he played his butt off.
To that end, we always say it's a next man up league. This team has shown that maybe more than anyone this season. It's just impressive how every next man up has come in and been successful.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive. It's rare too. I definitely think it's rare. I think it's a testament to the way we practice and the standard we practice. Our practices are extremely difficult, but it does get you ready to play, and it gets you ready for the physicality of the game, for the speed and tempo of the game, and it goes all the way back to OTAs and training camp and just the standard that this team's created.
When a player's in his zone, you know how that feels, but it feels like Kyle's in his zone, or what can you describe about how Kyle kind of dialing it up right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. I think there's so much pressure on us players because you don't know which one's going to be the one to pop, but I love it. That's a good pressure. It's what you want. You have utmost confidence in the guy calling plays. It's definitely gets your sense of urgency up.
Christian,
Each December here, the last 4 years, your yards per carries go up, stakes go up. Is that something that just gets out the best of you?
I don't know. I don't. For me, just try to, prepare every week the same and go out there and get better every week. I think there's so many different things that happen throughout a year, and I think a lot of times we, as fans of the NFL, we focus on numbers, and that they tell a story for sure. But my mindset's always the same. It's get better every week, and when you look at week 1 to week now, have you gotten better? Have you progressed? Where can you get better? And just keeping that mentality.
Christian, on that
you had
last
your brothers
drive,
and your dad there watching you the other night. How cool is that? And those guys are football pros. I mean, do you talk ball with them?
Yeah, we talk ball all the time, but at the same time, those are my brothers, man, and it's anytime I get to be with them, those are my best friends, and when we get together, it's special. So I was really thankful that they gotta come out and get to spend some time with them.
Christian, on the last drive, the throwback screen that gained 18 yards, I don't know what the numbers are with the effectiveness of that play, but because Brock is faking that bootleg, which is like a staple of the offense, I mean, do you have a sense that's going to work just because the way the defense typically is going to flow?
Maybe on that play, yeah. I mean, on that play, I figured it was going to be open just because in the play. But sometimes, they might have 2 guys on me, and it doesn't. You just in this league, I try to simplify my mindset as much as possible, and so all those thoughts that you guys bring up, I legitimately don't have them. I just try to go one play at a time as much as I can, and full speed, breathe, focus, explode, and execute the play that's called.
So are you ever in a huddle they call the play and have a sense of like, yeah, we set this up, this is going to work?
I don't have those thoughts at all. I don't think anything. Yeah, I think if you were to go through the thoughts that I have during a game, there's not much going on other than execute the play. So.
You're fighting for the top seed this weekend. What's it going to mean to you to potentially enter the playoffs, getting more home games, more time in front of the faithful? How different does that feel for you when you're playing in front of them?
It means a lot. It's a huge game for us, obviously, this week, and our team's intent and focus is get better today and show up ready to roll on Saturday.
Your coaches feel like you played very well.
Yeah, first thing in my mind was like, okay, here we go, and then just taking it one play at a time, and all I got to do is my job. We got great guys around us and all over the team, and so just knowing that they got my back and that as long as I do my job to the best of my ability, everything else will take care of itself. So.
You've had a lot of stops in your career, and it was like your first full game in effect.
Yeah.
I mean, do you ever wonder if you're actually going to have? You don't want Trent to get hurt and all that, but do you ever wonder if you're ever going to get an opportunity to kind of play full 4 quarters and show what you can do?
The thought crosses my mind sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but and I've said this before. As long as I trust in God and show up and do the work, He'll take care of the rest. And when my time comes, it'll be there.
What were there nerves on play one?
There were some butterflies. I'm not gonna lie. Just the excitement and the adrenaline that hits whenever you find out you're getting ready to go in. But you just take a deep breath and take it one play at a time. And I felt like I got more comfortable as the game went on.
Do you replace Trent Williams? Probably can't fully replace Trent Williams, but can you push that out of your mind, like the expectations of I've got to fill in, for this Hall of Famer, or are you just so laser focused on what you have to do?
Yeah, I try to focus on the whatever's right in front of me. I try to focus on the one play at a time and just doing my job in the moment. And then, after the game and stuff, it's like, yeah, those are some big shoes to fill, so, yeah.
Related to that, how much of a benefit have you gotten from being in the same room as Trent Williams?
Oh, it's been huge for my development over the year. Just hearing, little pointers here and there from him, or being able to go to him with any questions. He's been great in helping me out with that, so it's been great.
At what point do you guys feel that your team kind of went into playoff mode? Middle of the season, after the Fred injury? Where do you guys feel that you were in that mode?
We talk about just taking care of the week ahead of us, and playing one game at a time. And at least for me, it's always one rep at a time, one day at a time. And I don't know. I've kind of felt it the whole year, just the way that this team's built and the culture we have. Like, it's always about the main thing, and that's winning football games. So I kind of have felt it throughout the whole year that, you know, we're going to make the most of every opportunity that we get. So.
Have you gotten a chance to talk to Trent after Sunday night's game? If so, what did he share with you?
We talked shortly, like right after the game. Emotions were pretty high, but we haven't sat down and talked about anything like in particular about the game.
Thanks,
guys. Thank you.
What do you remember about Seattle from week one? And during the course of that game, did you feel like you had a welcome to the NFL moment, or oh crap, these guys are different?
Oh yeah, they're very physical. They had a welcome to the NFL moment in that game, and I'm excited to bring it back again. So yeah.
Has the coaching staff or any of the former players or just older players talked about some of the games that they've had with the Seahawks in years past?
Just the intensity of the game, the importance of the game, rivalry, you know, and it's even bigger now. You know, we're fighting for the 1 seed. So yeah.
If at all, how does the momentum, winning a game like you just won against the Bears, and then obviously winning 6 straight, kind of carry you through a short week into a big game like this?
You know, we've been through it. You know, we know what it takes. So, you know, it's just, you know, rinse, wash, repeat.
How difficult is it on you guys to have a change of pace backs between Charbonnet and Walker?
You know, we just gotta, you know, live on our tackle lines. You know, players, you know, play for each other, play with each other, do our jobs at a high level, and you know, we'll be able to stop them.
How have you seen your group improve throughout the season?
Like I said, you know, every game, every day, you know, we're finding something to get better at. So, you know, it's a long season, so you know, we have to stop. You know, we're finding ways to get better, even if we have a good game. You know, we find something to better ourselves. Yeah.
What was your vantage point on Sunday of that final play?
It felt like it was silent, you know what I'm saying? And then finally got it done, and yeah, I sprinted. I think I ran like 20 miles an hour or something. So, yeah.
Alfred, how loud was it on that last one? I know you were talking earlier the other night how loud the crowd was. Does that impact like the other offensive line?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the faithful, they came and did their thing. I was top 3 loudest games I've ever been part of, so, you know, kudos to them.
What were the other games that were in your top 3?
For sure, Georgia when we played them at Texas, and then A&M.
When you have a big game like this, outside of obviously everyone's banged up and injured, but how much do you lose sleep at night getting ready? Like, how amped are you to play Saturday night at 5 o'clock when everything's on the line this weekend?
Just taking it day by day, you know, getting everything down, coaching points, stuff like that, and then once the time comes, you know, if you're, you know, like a day's going that day, then you ain't in the right profession, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
What's it like being a part of a team like this during your rookie season, having a resurgence, basically? The fans are saying, don't call it a comeback.
Mm-hmm. It's really awesome, you know, first year, setting the tone in my career, you know, so it's just a blessing to be here. So.
Who's the biggest fan of the Dougie besides Brock himself? Like, Mac goes wild, and you see the receivers go wild. Like, who enjoys it on this team?
I enjoy it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm another big fan of that. So.
Can you explain, like, what your decision-making process was and what Robert Saleh told you to do?
I had the decision of whether the blitz or not. I rewatched the film, and I was wrong. D actually stayed in. He had his eye on the QB. You know, it was a couple guys rushed, but yeah, we were just trying to make a play. I had the option to drop out or in blitz, depending on what the center does, and he ended up fanning out to me, so, and that's what I did. And everybody else, they did their job. Yeah.
Talk just from the defensive perspective, what that game was like, because it's such a high-scoring game, and as a linebacker, what it's like for you through your eyes.
Yeah, obviously we don't want to give up that many points against nobody, but you know, it's 2 great teams. We both were 11-4. We knew there was a lot on the line, and they made plays, we made plays, and the goal at the end of the day is to get a win, and that's what we did.
What do you see from Sam when you watch tape of that Seattle offense?
You know, Sam, he's a playmaker, man. He came a long way. Kyle always talks about him, even when he was at the Vikings, man. We just got to be able to limit him and get some stops.
They do turn the ball over, though.
Mm-hmm.
They have Darnold's percentage of turnovers is pretty high. There are opportunities for you guys out there. I know you guys are looking to get something.
It's opportunities every game. We just got to go get them.
You guys saw him in week 1, but can you kind of believe what JSN has done this year and kind of cementing himself in a top 5 wide receiver role?
Yeah, I know he's a great receiver. I didn't really pay attention to a lot of the huge plays that he made, but I know he's a great player, and we just got to limit him also and get off the field.
How much lighter does it make this push towards the playoffs to be able to string along 6 wins together and then have such a momentous win against the Chicago
Lighter?
Bears? Does it make it lighter or does it make it heavier?
I wouldn't say neither, man. It's just a great opportunity for us, man. Nobody would thought we'd be here. I remember around the trade deadline and we didn't do nothing. Everybody thought the season was over, but everybody in this room, in this locker room, we knew what we could do and we were doing it. So we're just trying to keep our head forward, be where our feet are, and just continue to get that win.